Hey everyone, this is Dan, the GM, bringing you What the Dice. This is the second part of a 3-part boss battle. I don't have much time to talk. This is episode 173. Wow, so much going on, so little time. I gotta shut up and let you get on with this week's episode. You, my friend, are absolutely amazing. Enjoy! We stand upon the spire, looking out at this turbulent ocean and skies of turbulent clouds that twist and swirl, giving this view of the battle on the mortal plane. Our eyes are locked in as we watch as the storyteller, Death, smiles. His hand glows as the book flutters in his hand.
Well, me friends. A decision has been made. And now we may watch as the tapestry of fate, the book of heroes, begins to tell us what happens next.
In the last episode, the team had to deal with the beginning of the Bone God's assault on the Holy City. After dealing damage and dealing with the Bone God in his truest of forms on the mortal planes, you all were able to activate the items and had to cut a single thread to choose which soul to sacrifice. We come back as the white thread that Kalila snapped begins to pulse. There's a moment where the world around you begins to move and twist, and you are hurtled skyward up through the blown off roof of the holy temple, through the sky into what feels like darkness and oblivion. Below you, you can see near Atova, the bluish color of the seas and the darkness that is starting to encompass the land. As you take a look around you, you're realizing that you are in the plains of the gods, and all of the pantheon are sitting in thrones, encircling you, where a strange woman stands, her hands cusped lightly in front of her as she looks at you. She is a tall woman. Looks like her race is not really able to be seen. Like, she is tall and statuesque as if elven, but she has the paled skin of the undead, but she is got an air about her that is just peace and knowledge. Her body is ordained in a flowing purple robe with a book that dangles from her hip.
Is the book familiar?
Roll me a perception, and then we'll go from there.
27.
The book isn't familiar, but there is a familiar flower on it.
All right, well, for the, split second and a half that Kalila's standing there and seeing this woman there, this book there, first and foremost, her ears are going wild to being pointing straight forward and looking at her, to pointing back and looking around to see where in the world she is, checking to see if Defibulus and Klide is with her, and is very confused of I'm getting tired of being flung in random places.
As you are looking around, eyes darting, you realize that you recognize a woman that is sitting just behind the woman standing. Her throne is ordained with ivy and flowers, and there are butterflies that are just resting.
Oh, I knew it was Desna before you even said anything.
And we all see this?
Yes, you all see this. Klide, you see off to her left towards where the sun would rise, you see your goddess sitting in her throne, light glowing from her throne.
Oh shit. Then immediately, once, like split second, once Klide would see that, he would go down to one knee and bow in the place, and greet her appropriately, with all, with all the long, enthusiastic entitlement that she would deserve. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Exude respect.
Yes.
And if anyone wants to roll me a knowledge religion or knowledge planes, please roll that.
I will roll knowledge religion. I have that.
Defibulous is going to be like, hey guys, look how high up we went!
23.
All right, 23 for Klide.
I'm going to say to Philibus, I know you do not believe too much, but these are gods representing our faith.
21.
Both of you kind of recognize this as a section of at least what would be described as the meeting place of the gods. This is where decisions are made and where strife between gods are dealt with. It is, in a sense, an arena of combat.
Which, hearing Defibulus and then Klide, Kalila just immediately turns around to look at Defibulus, and where he's looking, going, wait, we're not in space again, are we?
Yep, I think we are.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have transferred planes.
Yeah, that's not the first time. The Cursed Swamp was a different plane, too.
No. I mean, like, planes. Like, heaven and hell, but there's much more other.
But it's still super high up, which is really cool.
Kalila's ears are just gonna fall back for a moment with this mumble of like, why can't I keep my paws on the ground under her breath? She turns around and is like, Desna, am I dead?
Desna just lightly chuckles. The strange woman in front of you speaks up, and her voice is soft and seems to echo and has this almost like that feeling of hearing knowledge, like if you sat in a scholar's library and that constant mumble of knowledge seems to come through as well. No, adventurers, you are not dead in a sense.
Her ears are gonna fall back again.
You have transcended your mortal form. You were told the only way to beat an immortal god is to turn them human. Am I correct?
Yeah, is that not what we did? Pointing back down to whatever's below her.
Bone Goddess gives a slight nod. You did bring him to his mortal form, but that was more because he was angry, and he wanted to feel the blood drip from your veins. But because you severed the life and gave a blood sacrifice to me, I was able to transcend you and create you as the champions of your gods, or in the case of the young gnome, a creature that is the champion of knowledge. But her eyes shift from you to behind you as there is the sound of glass shattering as this ooze begins to crawl itself up. I do believe it is time for you to continue your fight.
And he's back.
Didn't expect him to stay down.
No.
You hear under Clive's breath, "Champion Iomade, I'm a champion." And then he starts standing up,
Kalila's just gonna laugh.
turns to the ooze and screams out, "I am a champion of Iomade," and slams his sword and shield together.
Kalila's just gonna slap Clyde on the back, plate mail and all as hard as she can with a very proud laugh going, "Welcome to the big games again, buddy."
Roll for initiative.
Holy crap, I rolled really well.
That'll never roll well.
I know, and I'm like, I don't know if I like that because I don't like going first.
I have a 14.
27 for a Kalila.
23 for Defibulous.
All right. Top of round. Kalila.
Damn it. I knew that was coming. Alright, is he still forming? Do we have like pretty much a round as he's like oozing in? Or is he formed?
He has pulled himself up and the ichor has shredded down so that large skeleton that you saw on Niratova is no longer. You now see a tall, elven-esque looking humanoid with horns that glow. His robes are dripping with ichor, and there are two shields that are floating about him. His eyes are glowing this dark, sickly green as there's this strange pulse of magic in his emaciated hands. So, Kalila, what would you like to do to this poor old man who is standing before you?
Right. Poor old man. Well, as always in classic Kalila style graph bow, first and foremost.
All right, Graphbo is now active.
And Kalila's gonna be able to cast a new spell that she's never casted before.
No, sir, I don't like it.
Yeah, well, deal with it. She's gonna end up letting out a ferocious cat growl, howl, and give everyone in the party stone skin. It is stone skin mass. So everyone has a additional 150 DR points, damage reduction points, that gets used up as maximum 10-point intervals anytime they take damage.
Ooh.
Nope, don't like it.
And with that, Kalila knows better than to stand in a pack and is going to scatter. She's gonna pan right to start moving in a potential flanking formation with Mugen following her, and Hugin is going to pal around with... I'm gonna roll even or odd to determine Defibulous. And I think that's it.
Okay.
Both of them are going to take a... What's the range? How far away is he?
He is about 30 feet away.
30 feet away? Oh, yay. Perfect. Then both of them, Hugin and Mugen, while they are scattering, will take a pot shot at the bone god. Hugin with some wonderful spider butt hairs, his nettle hairs.
Okay.
And does a 43 hit?
It does.
Sweet!
Swing.
A swing and a hit. Oh, nice. And rolled high on damage. That is 20 points of damage.
Okay. Give me one moment.
Butt hairs away.
As the butt hairs fly through the air, they shimmer with this energy as the bone god quickly moves one hand and one of the shields flies up and takes the hit. It seems like the hairs crack into this strange ichor shield, creating small cracks and shivers through it.
So it doesn't even hit the bone god.
It doesn't hit the bone god, but it hits one of the shields that he is controlling.
Weird, he blocked your butt hairs.
He did. Let's see if he can block some magic mithrils then. See if he can block more than one thing flying at him. And a Mugen is a fire. He rolled a 43 as well.
And that is a hit as well.
All right, D4s for determining 6 fly at him. 45 points of damage.
Okay.
And then that's the end of my round.
As those magic mithrils begin to fly at him, he moves quickly as the other shield takes placement. As the magic mithrils strike, the large chunks of this shield just shatter off, sending ichor dripping down around him as the shield struggles to reform for a long moment before it finally creates itself back again. Fibulus, your round.
Alrighty. So we definitely know he's got a barrier of some sort protecting him. Because he's a rude jerk.
Bone god's always a rude jerk.
Well, he's even a bigger rude jerk because now he's actively defending himself. That's just rude. I was hoping he'd just sit there and be like, "All right, guys, I've learned my lesson. You know, I'm defeated." But no.
Are you having this conversation right now? Like, in combat?
No,
Or is this...
this is just Ethan rambling.
Okay.
If it was Defibulous, I'd be in a much higher voice.
Just checking, that's what I thought.
But Defibulous is going to start things off by shooting some shots at him, see how that works.
Alright.
Nope, it actually was like 51 to hit.
That is a hit.
36 damage on my first shot. Before I fire my other couple attacks, Defibulous will check out to see what the reaction is to his bullet being fired at him.
As these bullets strike, you can see that he is moving his hand trying to get the shields into position. The bullets fly past the shields, striking him. You see the strange ichor in his robe split, and you can hear the sounds of what sounds like metal against metal as it strikes his bones. His eyes narrow slowly at you as you feel the heat of his hatred targeting just you.
Oh, he doesn't like you.
Well, my response to that is, being targeted with hatred, I will target him with another bullet. Yeah, 19's a crit with my gun right now, so yeah, I critted him. I will deal him 108 points of damage on that shot.
As your bullets fly towards him, there's a quick motion of his hand as one of the shimmering shields comes up and begins to take the brunt of the attack. You can see it start to crack even further, starting to look like a shattered mirror. That ichor begins to drip from the cracks as if it is bleeding. Any more attacks?
Why, of course. I have 2 more attacks right now.
Which everyone can see these cracks obviously dripping and breaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a 40 hit.
It does.
29 points damage on the third shot.
Again, that same shimmering shield that you hit before comes up and it begins to get pummeled as it begins to crack even further. The ichor begins to pour onto the floor and begins to create a puddle around him.
Which, seeing this happening and Defibulous succeeding on those shields, Kalila is going to yell out to Klide, that will target the shields if you want to go for the bone god himself.
I will yell out gladly as I continue to, during my turn, but continue to walk towards him, banging my sword on my shield.
And I believe you have one more attack, Defibulus?
I do, and I'm going to hold that attack for when he decides to unleash his unmitigated hatred towards me for shooting him.
Oh,
Because
yes.
that's going to come.
You are my target, my friend.
He likes you.
We'll go with that. The bone god first begins to take deep breaths in, and you can watch as the ichor begins to bubble and starts to flow slowly back up into each of the shields. The shield that had the butt hairs is fully healed as it absorbs the butt hairs. The one that Defibulus has cracked and damaged looks like it is about halfway back to its full capacity. With another quick exhale, you can see the ichor of his body begin to move as if he is surrounded by a pool of water. And my last thing is I'm now going to attack. All right, here it comes. I need you to roll a reflex save as the bone god sends out a line of ice that is striking from the ground as spikes move quickly towards you, Defibulus.
What's the hitbox range on that? Because Hugin's near Defibulus.
It is a straight line. So if Hugin is in front of Defibulus, he has to dodge. It's a
No,
30-foot line.
in genuine, I thought he would be next to, so not in front of.
Okay. Yep, straight line.
Total of 44.
Okay, you are going to take half damage. Give me a sec to roll my dice. 55 points of damage is full. Half of that is 20.
27.5, so you round up or you round down?
We do round down. So 27 points of damage.
And DR covers that too as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I have my damage figured. I'm not going to say because then you'll just kill me with something else.
That is the Bone God's movement, and now it is Clyde's round.
Moving forward, I'm going to cast my first spell. It is called Eagle Soul. So normally it's a very long spell. It's like 1 hour per level, and it gives you some easy general stuff. But you have the option to change it to 1 round per level, and you get an increase in benefits. You get a +2 to AC, a +4 to strength, a resistance 5 to acid and fire, a +5 to intimidate. You get fast healing 2, and any critical threat, well, that's automatically covered. Okay?
Okay.
That's a free action. The next spell that I do is Crusader's Edge. It grants my weapon Bane versus evil outsiders. And I'll tell you this stuff, it only happens if I crit, if I do something. Okay, after that, I am activating my my armor, which is the shared defense thingy. So that means everybody within 20 feet has a 25% chance to negate critical. And it gives me 5 AC.
Okay.
Okay, then I'm going to attack him.
Go for it.
Oh, shit balls. I rolled a 19.
Woohoo!
That's a crit on my weapon. If I'm not...
Opening up this combat with some crit.
Oh, shit. Alright, this is the first time I've crit ever. So I need to look at what this weapon does. Oh, okay. First of all, his damage for 3 rounds is reduced by 5 because that's the keynote of this weapon. Okay, so I do 5d10 times 3 on a crit. And since I'm smiting an evil, I get more AC from that as well, just so you know. So, I did 159 would be total damage.
As you bring down your weapon, you see in just that moment where a shield starts to form around him, but you are too quick for it as your weapon strikes true against the bone god himself. The water that has created around the ichor is slashed apart as your weapon takes root.
Alright, so now he needs a fortitude save.
Why you gotta do this to my sorcerer? 25.
He does not save. Needed 29.
Oh, snap.
Okay, what happened?
Oh, you're gonna be pissed.
Not likely.
He's nauseated.
Give me one moment. Let me make sure that he can be affected by said things.
Oh, well,
Yeah, that's a good question.
point. Good point. He is, yes. That is
He's still
good.
kind of a god.
Yes, that is very good point. I should have
These
thought about
rules
that
apply
before
to flesh and blood mortals.
Yeah, I should have thought that before I decided to have this spell on my spell list.
Well, you have to genuinely pick your spells based off of what you would.
You know what's funny? He does not have immunity to nausea. So nausea works.
Who knew a bone god could be nauseated?
For how long?
The bone god got motion sickness.
Well, I mean, the way it describes is he was basically just hit with holy energy, so...
Call it nausea, call it ouchies, whichever.
Call it overcome by holy energy.
I'm calling it as more of, because you do have the gods around you, it's the gods cannot directly help, but for some weird reason, this sword produces a lot more energy than one would normally.
Yeah, 2 spells and then attack, and then so the 4th thing. So I'm gonna grapple him.
Attack like a bone god.
Yeah, go for it.
CMB 41.
CMB versus my CMD. You have a 41, right?
Correct.
All right. You have the bone god grappled. Give me one moment while I do something.
Okay.
As you wrap your arms around this ichor clothing, you begin to feel it seep into your armor, and you take 14 points of damage that bypasses your armor's DR.
What kind of damage?
It's your skin is literally being cooked by the flames of hell.
So, fire?
Yes, unholy fire.
Okay, I have DR versus that too.
Okay.
Well, Kalila is not happy seeing those shields heal.
But are they now?
He did describe one of the shields healed back up to full, yes. Her first action, well, we'll use up 2 of her slots, is she is actually going to grit her cat teeth and pull back on her bow so strongly to cause an overdraw and take aim at that shield to see how much damage she can do to it.
So there are 2 shields. One is solid ichor, one has a shimmer to it. Which one would you like to target?
So they almost both seem magical, or is one of them more physical?
One seems more physical, one seems more magical.
How far apart are the shields from Kalila?
They are encircling and constantly moving around the bone god.
They are within 30 feet of him, yes?
They are probably within 5 feet of him. They would be closer to like 25 feet away from you.
Oh, this works out even better. Instead of doing an overdraw, she starts to, but then turns her bow directly up into the sky. And she is going to use her full attack to summon an arrow storm.
I don't like this.
Which unleashes a storm of arrows to rain down upon your foes for 3 rounds. Enemies caught in a 40x40 suffer 48 plus 10 damage. They can reflex save for half, but I don't know if shields can reflex save. It does not hit friendlies.
Wow. Crap.
And he can't save versus it.
So the Bone God gets this attack and his 2 shields.
Okay. Go for it.
I like just how calmly, like, that's fine. Don't think I don't notice your peaceful tones. Sorry, I rounded up my 6s thinking they were D8s, and at the last minute realized those are the wrong dice. Sick brain for the win. Wait. Mathing, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
30 points of damage. And, well, he can't reflex save, but if anything is reflex saving, you have a DC of 30 for half.
Okay, nothing can reflex save.
Alright, then everything takes 30 points of damage for 3 rounds. But that is Kalila's entire round.
Alright, Hugin Mugen.
Mugen and a Mugen! And we'll start with a Mugen with, again, a volley of his magic mithrils. And he also rolled a nat 1.
Alright, so they just kind of limply fall out of the chamber and he looks embarrassed.
But he does have a second attack with a tail shot.
Okay.
With a nat 20 on the tail shot.
Alright.
19 points of damage with his tail shot.
Okay. His tail shot strikes one of the shields that is more dark in ichor, and it plinks off of it.
Does it appear to do any damage?
It looked like it did something, but it's more
Okay.
like a dent.
Yeah, well, yeah. As long as it wasn't like nothing. And then a Hugin. I'm curious. He can intentionally attack the shields. He's gonna go for the more shimmering shield rather than the ichor.
Okay.
Because we've learned in the past, black ichor is bad, and he's going to do a leaping vital strike. So I don't want him to come into physical contact with the black ichor. So he's going after the... He has enough intelligence to go after the shimmering one.
Mm-hmm.
So he haunches down and in a great, quick, spider-like leap into the air, intentionally aiming for the shield.
Alright. Roll to hit.
36 to hit the shield.
That is a hit.
Sweet. And with a mighty, mighty spider bite, he sinks his fangs down in for 21 points of damage. And if this can be poisoned, it takes 4 points of poison damage.
His fangs bite in and take a fairly decent chunk out of the shield itself. The Fibulus, your round.
Fibulus gives off just kind of a amused smirk that, in his mind, that, you know, for a god, he's just watched a god get grappled and pinned down at this point.
It is kind of amusing.
And is he still moving his shields to deflect everything, or...
Yep.
Okay.
But that's on my roll, so don't worry about that.
No. I was just debating if I want to dead shot him yet, or wait till he has no shielding to protect himself. I'm just gonna shoot him for now.
Okay.
So what's the status on the shields on appearance? Look, how do they look?
One looks like it is only got a few dents in it, which is the ichor one, and then the one that is shimmering looks like it has a couple of chunks and it is cracked and damaged.
I'm gonna hit my first shot on the one that's cracked and damaged looking.
Okay.
I will give you a nat 20 against that shield. Alright, so 92 damage from the rifle shot, and then 77 damage from the big AoE blast.
As that second shot, or as your shot strikes that magical shield, there's a crackle of lightning that seems to come from pillars and armors that decorate the combat field. In the dark black inkiness of space, there's this spark of green energy as this giant dragon that glints with green energy comes flying through, blasting this electrical fire across the field. Klide, around you, there's this arc of lightning where the fire and the lightning just seem to spin and arc around you, leaving you completely unharmed. As the ash and smoke starts to clear, the bone god still stands, and the shield you struck is in massive chunks where you can see through it. It is nearly destroyed.
Well then, I'm gonna shoot it again.
Let's do that a second time.
Okay. Roll them bones.
57 to hit.
That is a hit.
38 damage from that shot.
As the bullet strikes a chunk of the shimmering ichor, it explodes in a rain of drips and sparkles, leaving nothing there. Alright, so what is your next attack?
I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay, go for it.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot the other shield. 47.
That is a hit.
15 damage.
Your bullet seems to just plink off the steel. That makes it the Bone God's turn. First thing that's going to happen is the ichor around is going to congeal around the shield. And he is still nauseated, so he cannot cast spells or what?
He can't do anything but move, but he's grappled, so he can't move.
Okay, well, since he's grappled, give me a moment. Since there's now more ichor dripping into your armor, you get 20 points of damage as the ichor is starting to actually pierce into your skin. And he cannot cast, he cannot move, and he is grappled. But that is, I believe, I only have one more round of nausea to deal with that crap. That makes it Klide's turn.
Yes. So where I struck him, is he like bleeding or like, because you said it like sunk in?
Yes. His robe was ripped, but there's nothing underneath for you to stab. He is a, by all means and purposes, it's kind of like hitting a skeleton.
Okay. So I'm going to let go. I'm going to create water at his feet and like on him. Since he can't move or anything, I'm right there.
Okay.
And then I'm going to bless the water,
Okay.
making it completely holy water.
Okay.
It doesn't actually say what damage or...
A flask of holy water deals 2d4 points of damage to an undead or evil outsider.
And this is 36 gallons.
I am not going to allow you to convert all 36 gallons of that water because that is a little ridiculous.
Damn.
Because it states a flask, and a flask is at most like 7 ounces. And that means you would have about 4,608 ounces. So I can't allow that. I don't think that is plausible in a quick succession. I could see you converting like...
Just what's on him?
Yeah, just what's on him
Okay.
to holy water. So what I will do is I will allow you to do all that, but you would not be able to turn the 36 gallons into it. I would allow you to turn what physically is on him into holy water, and I would say I would give you 5d8 worth of damage.
Okay, I will accept that. 17.
All right. As you cast the holy water on him, the ichor begins to bubble and sizzle, but he doesn't seem affected by it.
Gotcha.
What else do you got?
I'm going to attack him.
All right, go for it.
This is, again, with Smite.
Okay.
42.
That is a hit. As you bring your sword down, you see the bone god seems to flicker from existence for just a moment, and a shield is between you and him. Roll your damage.
80.
Give me one moment. Let me do my math. You do a pretty significant piece of chunk out of his floating shield.
I'm going to grapple him again.
All right, roll.
Again.
That's a 19 on a die. I'm not sure you're going to beat me on that one.
Yep, you have him grappled again.
Well, he is a Huggedin.
And you take 28 points of damage as the ichor snakes into your armor. Kalila, you're around.
Are the shields still there?
One shield is still there.
But it looks really messed up.
It looks pretty chewed up.
Kalila's gonna try and take that sucker out
Okay.
with a power draw, an overdraw.
All right.
She doesn't know quite what these shields are doing for that, other than blocking her ranged attacks, but just in case they're doing something more. Does a 48.
A 48 does hit.
Good, good. 32 points of damage.
All right.
Does that shield drop?
It does not. The arrow plinks into it, and then the arrow seems to just drop.
Oh, I'm not happy about that.
If only you had some kind of weird magical attacks that do weird damages.
I was looking to see if I had a spell to cast on it, but
Was it wild
What?
shot? What?
yeah, wild shot. You know, though. All right, fine. Kalila will do a wild shot. I was thinking about an explosive arrow because she's mad, and I'm trying to justify it if she would use a wild shot because the last time she went to use it, I don't know, summoned a bunch of apples.
They were tasty apples.
Yeah, but if you use the explosive shot and either you miss or even if you hit, you can still do damage to allies.
Bring it on.
Yeah,
I welcome the pain.
you are a sadistic paladin.
I'm hugging a god right now. Come on.
I'm still gonna overdraw on a wild shot though.
Go for it.
Second overdraw. That one does not do as much damage. It is only 16.
All right. And we have the wild shot, which is now considered God shot. So I need a D12.
D12. 11.
As the arrow blinks off the shield, there's this moment of just quietness. And then you could feel the rush of cold air as the Lich steps from behind you. In his hand dances a ball of green fire. With a skilled toss, it hits the shield and begins to burn the shield slowly.
Oh, shit.
I need you to roll 2d12, and then I continue the description.
As Clyde stares, and you suddenly see his mouth open because a lich freaking appeared behind Kalila. He almost screams out, "Watch out."
21.
All right, 21. As the fire slowly disappears, the Lich moves his hands to the side as his cloak flares open. You see Everest come flying through wearing this majestic cleric's armor. Jumping up, he begins to bring his mace down with this heavy thunk. Now, roll 3d10.
23.
As Everest slides off to the side, from the shadows you see a glint of fangs, and there is a quick blur of motion as a set of daggers begin to get thrown through the air, and just before they make contact, you see Kazimar come into the physical existence and slams into the shield. Please roll 3d6.
10.
As the heroes of Hold's Keep disappear in a mist, the shield has multiple holes and dents in it, and it is crackling as it continues to burn with this sickly green flames.
That's a cool attack.
Anything else you got, Kalila?
Well, that's all for her. But the shield is down.
Nope, it is still up, but it is nearly destroyed.
Son of a... Then a Mugen! Firing the magic missiles. 44.
That is a hit.
Sometimes D4s are just so hard to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
5 missiles this time erupt
All right.
from a Mugen. 22 points of damage from his missiles.
That shield has seen better days, that's for sure.
And is this the Ichor or the shimmering one?
The shimmering one is completely destroyed.
Then a Hugin will fling some nettle hairs. 2. Flap, flap. Okay, definitely missed on the first one because he rolled a 2.
Yeah, probably.
Probably a miss on the second one. Let me do the math. 26?
That's a miss.
Okay, well, they tried. That is all from me.
Okay. Defibulus, your round.
I'll god shot the shield that's still up, just to see what it does.
Okay.
Like a Kalila did.
It is a dirty crit.
That is a hit.
Okay, so that's 124 damage from the shot. You said a D12?
Yep.
9.
As the bullet pierces the shield, it shatters. The bullet pierces into the Ichor, and there's this ripple of ethereal magic, and you begin to watch as mana is slowly pulled from him. Who has the lowest HP?
Defibulus is the only one who's taken injury.
Yep, I think I'm the only one that's been hurt.
As these strange motes of energy seem to swirl around, they fly at you, Defibulus, and you can feel your injuries begin to heal as you receive 26 points of health, not past your maximum.
Well, damn. I'm a healer now.
Did you gain a level in healer?
There's a pulse of magic as the last shield falls into the Ichor, and the bone god eyes begin to flare, getting darker as he, since he is grappled, begins to slowly encompass Klide. Klide, you can feel your body begin to be sapped of mana and magic. As you take 50 points of damage as he begins to try to literally suck the life force out of you.
What type of damage?
It's ripping your soul out of you. It's
Unclassified.
unclassified.
Okay.
As a shield begins to try to slowly reform, as it sparks, as it tries to reform from the ichor at your feet, Klide. And now the Bone God's going to try to get out of your grip. Ethan, you have a second attack.
All right. So is the shield, that new sputtery shield, even targetable, or is it him?
Nope. It's still trying to form.
So anything I fire is hitting the Bone God directly now.
As long as you don't crit fail, yeah.
And what, like shoot Klide?
Yes.
I'll shoot the Bone God
Okay.
with a 19 on die.
All right. Is
Oh,
this wild shot
snap.
again?
No, this is just a regular shot again.
Okay.
80 points of damage on that second shot.
Bone God is still standing.
I'll shoot him a third time.
Angry Defibulus is angry.
There's a 37 hit.
Right on the money.
Oh, snap.
30 points of damage.
He is still standing.
Well, I mean, I'll just keep shooting him if you want me just to keep shooting him.
Are you out of attacks now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and I'm assuming Klide is still holding on.
Yes.
14 points of damage that bypasses physical armor DR as the ichor continues to burn your flesh. Since he can't do anything because this is his last round of nausea, actually, I can do something.
He can't do anything that requires thought.
This is not.
Oh, sorry, not thought. Attention.
It doesn't. He is shifting his form. He is now incorporeal. So as you're holding him, his robes begin to become thinner and thinner as eventually he is no longer there. He is just a shadow of what he once was.
Ooh, look at him being all ghosty. I don't like that.
Klide's round.
I can't remember what incorporeal does. Will magic weapons still hit him?
Yes.
Okay. I just
Magic weapons will hit him, but non-magic weapons will do 0 damage.
El Basico Dagger does 0.
Mm-hmm.
would I know if their arrows and shots are magical or not?
Nope, you haven't been around the team. You would assume whatever Kalila fired that summoned 3 people is most likely magical, though.
All right. So first of all, do lay on hands for myself.
Okay.
Gives me a total of 35 health back. Okay. After that, I'm going to activate Aura of Justice and expend 2 of my smite abilities to give everybody smite on their next turn.
Ooh, smite.
And then I'm going to attack him. 44.
That is a hit.
Okay, so that's 76 points of damage. I'm going to attack him again.
All right, go for it.
Oh my god, that's in that 20.
Oh, snap.
170.
Oh, wow.
Dan,
Mm-hmm.
roll a fort save.
You know,
Which
this
I'm-
is why I hate sorcerers. That would be a whopping 21.
Same as last time, it's 28.
Which I'm curious, Klide. What does your judgment? Because you're calling down the judgment of Naratoba itself. What does that look like when Klide does that?
Oh, think of it as a pillar of sunlight. Like, straight up sunlight going directly on him, because Iomade is the sun and a sword. So think of it as like, I'm not going to say like a lightsaber type, but like it gleams with sunlight. Holy energy. And I I doubt it's going to work because he's kind of incorporeal, but technically he would be nauseated then, since...
He cannot be nauseated
Okay.
in his incorporeal form, but
Can he be sickened? It's the downgrade of it.
I have something better
Okay.
for you. As your blade comes down and pierces through what feels like a thickened mist, you can feel something more as you have ripped the bone god out of this incorporeal form and sent him down. His bones scatter into this ichor puddle that begins to bubble and sizzle slowly away. As your blade finally makes connection with the ground itself, you are just standing in this large 30-foot pool of thinning ichor. You can feel all the eyes of the gods and goddesses looking down upon you.
Clyde's just kind of going to be awestruck.
Kalila's gonna look to Defibulus before taking some cautious steps towards Klide.
I think we should shoot the puddle repeatedly.
Go for it, I agree. Which Kalila is going to shoot the puddle.
Defibulus will also shoot part of the puddle.
Clyde will stab the puddle.
As you all go into this mild berserker rage of stabbing, shooting, and plunking arrows into this pool.
I would call it more paranoia,
Yeah, much more paranoia.
not berserking. There's definite, I don't trust it, not RARS!
As you are all attacking this innocent puddle of ichor, the world and the universe slowly starts to pause as we end this week's episode here.
The storyteller, Death, whomever you wish to call him, stares off at the clouds as they coalesce and twist and spin, showing the battle before us. As he slowly turns to us, he smiles.
Well, 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 me friends. It seems as if the adventurers have decided to take on a god in the gods' Colosseum. Much has been dealt with, much damage has been dealt, and the adventurers stand tall over the puddle that once was the bone god. Well, I'm sure there's no other surprises. But, as always, me friends, may the dice gods bless your every roll.
We here at What the Dice would like to thank Paizo for creating Pathfinder, Epidemic Sound for our music, as well as Sirenscape for our sound effects. If you would like to reach out to us, you can do so on Facebook at What the Dice Pod, Twitter at What the Dice Pod, and of course email whatthedicepod@gmail.com. And if you liked our little adventure, please share us with your friends and rate and review us.